And up next, though, we have with us a returning guest. I mean, we've followed his career when McFarland USA wasn't even out yet. Then it came out. Then he was doing the next thing, American Crime, on ABC, and we were like so excited for him on that. Now, American Crime is actually Golden Globe nominated, and I believe
Yes,
you said also NAACP nominated, right?
that's correct. Yep.
That's right. We have none other than Mr. Johnny Ortiz. Welcome back to the show, Johnny.
Woo!
Hey, how's it going?
We're
Good.
good. You know what? I noticed on this show, every guest on a Saturday morning, I could tell like this isn't their first thing to do is get on the air.
It's not, Saturday morning for me, it was like waking up to watching Entourage.
That's hilarious.
Is that how you spend your see Saturday mornings still for me are cartoons. I still am in cartoons, but Entourage, I can see that. I can see you vibing that. That's kind of what your life is like now, right?
Yes, and it's interesting.
That's awesome. It's funny. I'm kind of jealous of both of you guys because I'm usually still in bed. So at least you guys are up and watching something. I'm
Thank you
normally
for admitting
sleeping.
that, Kelly. That you're still
Well, because I go hard all week long. Like I try to work as much as I can, and then Saturday morning I just try to sleep in a little bit. So, but Johnny Ortiz, it's so funny. Aaron literally was talking about our other guest and saying, we expect to see more from her. And I remember our very first interview with you, and we sat there in our studios in San Bernardino, and we said the same thing about you. And man, in the last year and a half, the things that you have done. Talk about it. What's it been like going to all these award
It's been
shows?
exciting. It's awesome. It's a roller coaster that I'm still living. Everything for me has been an experience, and I thank God for everything and every moment that He has blessed me with. It's fun, you see all the excitement, been getting some fan mail, so that's interesting, been watching Entourage, and I just saw an episode where they're getting fan mail too. So it's interesting. I love it. I'm always having my mentors having my back and telling me what to do also in life.
Well, Johnny, I follow a lot of what you do, and I kind of feel like one of your stalker fans. But I think it's okay because we actually know each other, and I'm telling you this.
We're your
But
friends.
we're your buddies. We're your
You're my
buddies.
bros.
Yeah, but I noticed. I saw you hitting the gym because I've got back to the gym recently in the last like 6 months, really trying to go at it. But I saw you preparing because you were preparing for a role. What role were you preparing for?
Yeah, the character was Nero Maldonado. It's about a young guy that goes into a Middle Eastern fighting for a war that doesn't belong to him, talking about the subject about the green card soldiers. So that's the character that I got to play, and it was fun experience. It was shot in Mexico. We shot some here in LA and Silver Lake. So it was a fun experience, but not only that, talking about the topic and everything that had to do with the issue that's now important in the immigration side.
Well, so here's what I want to know. What was your workout routine? Because you like buffed up within
Well,
just.
it was funny because it was a month. They put me through a month of training, so it was really. I had to work out every day. We had to wake up at 7 in the morning, and I had to go either to Rose Bowl. My trainer, they hired a celebrity trainer, so basically he trained Mark Wahlberg, Robert Downey Jr., and all these other athletes. And for me, it was a great experience because he actually put me through a workout that I had to put myself through, like really like not eating. I couldn't drink. I couldn't do none of that. But it was fun because you get paid to
Get big.
fit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious. You get paid to work out. Nah, that's hilarious.
No, I've thought that. I've thought like, the thing to get me really motivated would be an awesome film role. Like I could not go to the gym. Like I think everybody
It
should at
would
least
be holds
be
you
in something.
accountable. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah,
Because you're like,
they had me like getting tires and all that because they wanted the road to be very authentic. They put me through gun training too, so they had weapons over there on set. Where we had to go through explosions and through chains, and we actually had a green card soldier
Wow.
who was our mentor, who was explaining every process of everything. So we wanted the road to be very authentic for that.
Everyone sees you on social media and they see all, the cool things you get to go to. As an actor, like what's one thing like you could tell people that maybe they don't know about the job? Like what are the challenges or the things that you do go through that maybe people don't see?
Well, uh, there's being an actor comes with a lot of responsibility because
Hmm.
when you make film and TV, when I first started doing it, I thought it was fun and it was great, but I didn't really see the meaning of it. And so I started seeing that people actually started getting impacted by it. And when people started getting impacted by movies, it meant a lot for me. It meant that I can't just do any type of role, that we need to show people that we can play any type of role. And that was my method. Yeah.
Well,
Very cool.
congratulations on the nominations. American Crime. We knew it was going to be big when we saw some of the acting in it. I'm right, Kelly. I remember we were talking about
Yeah.
this. We're like, wow, this is a
Well,
really big
just
deal.
Yeah, just the lineup of actors who you got to work with. I know we talked about it a little bit in our last interview with you, but do you keep in touch with the actors and who do you think you bonded with, the most out of that cast?
Well, I bonded with everybody. I still keep
Hmm.
in touch with everybody. I went for Thanksgiving. I went with the producer to have Thanksgiving with her a little bit. So I spent some time with her, and I also I'm great with everybody. John Bradley, Michael McDonald, who are great persons in my life that have impacted my life also. Uh, and everybody. I mean, the cast, Felicity, Benito Martinez. I can say I bond more with him because he's more like he comes from our culture. So,
Hmm.
when you talk to someone about tamales, they know what we're talking about.
Okay, which are your favorite tamales? I don't like the cheese or the
I
sweet
like the
tamales.
dulce.
Which ones?
The sweet.
Dulce is basically sweet.
Oh, you like the sweet ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't get but you know what? It also depends where you get them from. Like
Well,
does your
yeah.
family members make them or do you go somewhere to get them?
Oh no, I let my family members make them. It's every Christmas we get together and it's fun.
Yeah, because there's nothing like homemade tamales that your family does because they know exactly how to make it. Kelly,
And
Kelly, have you had
pozole.
a
You're
tamale?
missing the
Oh,
pozole.
yes, I
You're missing the
have.
pozole.
Did the gringa have a tamale? Has the gringa ever had a tamale before? Yeah.
Oh,
I
that's right. We brought them in one time. That's right.
I love Spanish food. I love Spanish food. I grew up, in high school, probably about like more than half of my high school was Hispanic. And, so it was mostly Puerto Rican. So they always had that rice, that Puerto Rican rice. And so I was introduced to that culture and I love spices and flavor. And not to say that my mother's not a good cook, but, when it comes to other cultures, I think they put a little bit more spice into their foods and sweets in a little different way. So I love food from different cultures. Now, Johnny, you talked about, your family making sweets and stuff like that. Are you ready for the holidays? Did you get all your shopping
I'm ready,
done? What's going
but
on?
it's I know before Christmas Eve I'm gonna be going to Skid Road, helping out the homeless,
Okay.
pass out food with them. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. I've been going to the past year with it. I did it with them, and also the Easter. They do Easter also to help out the homeless. So it's wonderful.
Awesome.
That's what I'm spending time with in Christmas Eve, and then for Christmas I'm spending it with my family.
Cool. Hey, Johnny, you'll have to tweet me and Aaron when those things come up because we'll definitely share with our listeners if they're ever looking for more volunteers and stuff like that. That's great that you do that.
Yeah, and also if you guys look forward to following me and looking what I'm doing behind the scenes and everything, follow me on Mr. Johnny Ortiz.
Mr.
Awesome.
Johnny Ortiz.
That's right. On Instagram, Twitter, and of course, Facebook. Now, Johnny, we do and I think last time we also asked you, our power of choice is always focusing on something. If the whole world could focus for 1 week, and I know you said off air you would want them to focus on everything because that's what you do. You do everything. But what's one thing you think this week that people could focus on?
Focus on. Focus on yourself.
Mm.
By that I mean is that focus what you love to do. Focus what makes you happy. Because out there in the world, there's people that are not happy, and the
Mm.
way to be happy is by first loving yourself and getting to know yourself.
I think that's great. I think that somebody said that not too long ago, Aaron. They said, about the, self-love. It's not a selfish thing, but it's more of like a responsibility. If you don't really love yourself and you're not really happy, how can you really properly love another person? You know what I
Well,
mean?
what I find interesting is usually like people in like my age, late 20s, early 30s,
Oh,
you know,
you're a little older than I am because I'm forever 21, Aaron.
uh-huh.
I'm just
And,
kidding.
but barely like at that point or even later in life, they're like, oh, I need to find myself. And I'm like, okay, first of all, you know where you're at. You're right there. But, there's a difference between finding yourself and creating yourself. Like, Johnny, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen you intentionally create the life you
Mm-hmm.
want by making very determined choices, and then of course everything else kind of coming around that. It you and I were talking off air about if teens and preteens would actually do this, and even our children would do these things, early on in life, how advanced they would be. You started, how young were you when you started this very intentional thought?
Well, if you know some of my future history, I grew up, my whole family, my dad's side family, were in gangs and been in and out of jail. And I seen all that, and I grew up on that. So I was always that, but I always had a passion towards acting. So I met this life coach a week before I got kicked out of the school, and his name was Edward Padilla, and he brought me into this theater company called Casas de Ones in Boyle Heights. Uh, and I started taking classes, and I took classes for 2 years, and then I told him, hey, I want to take this professionally. And I still remember I was taking the train with no money. I didn't have cash, it was a 50-50 of getting caught and getting the ticket. But I never did it. I guess I was lucky. I never did. And I took classes, and then I sat down with Eddie, and I told him, hey, I want to do this profession. He helped me get an agent. My first role was Southland, which was a cop show in TNT, and I played a gang member. So it was fun, but I was still young, and I was just acting. I loved it. But as I got older, I started seeing what the meaning of acting was for me, and I grew more into learning that film for me is not something you can just choose and do any type of work. It's something that you really have to be picky, because at the end of the day, it's what you're representing.
Mm.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm.
Sometimes people they say, well, the power of intention, and that is true, but you need to back it up with actions,
Mm.
and the action will formulate along with your power of intention, and you've done that very well. You've always
Mm-hmm.
dedicated yourself to the craft, and you can tell in your performances that you're doing exactly that. Johnny, it's always awesome to have you on our show. Thank you for
Mm-hmm.
joining us this morning. And Johnny, any last words you have to your fans?
I love you guys. You guys make me happy, and every day every comment I get and everything, it fills me up. It does. So thank you.
Mm.
I'm going to take that personally because I'm one of your fans. So yeah, you're
We love
welcome,
you.
Johnny.
We love you, Johnny.
Love you guys.
All right. When we come back, we have more right here on the Hollywood Social Lounge. Don't go anywhere. If you want to tweet us at Aaron M. Sanchez and Kelly at Kelly P. Dolan. We'll be right back right after this message.